Well, hello there, and welcome to another Summer's Art Projects. They are having a call for art for 12 by 12 canvas pieces, and mine's going to be mixed media. I'm going to try to best explain my process before I show you. I'm going to have the canvas. I'm going to plaster the face with plaster strips so that the face will be coming out. And then I'm going to also plaster hands so it looks like it's grabbing the face. I want it to be this kind of checkered board where it's larger in the middle so it kind of will look more exaggerated coming out. And then I'm going to put red, yellow, and then the two different blue paints so that it looks like it's glitching. I think it's going to look awesome. I think it's also going to hurt my eyes. But in a good way, you know? So without further ado, here is my creation. My intentions with the mannequin face was to just not use my own face because the plaster strips really take the moisture out of your skin. But as you can see here, I started taking it off and it was fine up until this point, and then I ripped it. And whenever plaster is wet, you cannot glue it no matter how much hot glue you try to use. It was really frustrating and not working out, so instead I had to use my own face. Then I had to construct the plaster around my piercing so that A, I wouldn't get it infected, and B, I wouldn't rip it out of my face, you know? Oh. Ooh, it's in my eye. This sets way faster whenever it's on human skin. I have marked down where the mask will be. My face. Mark down where my face is going to be on the canvas. I also tried to mark inside and see like where the eyes would be specifically, but just looking at it and looking through my nose holes, you'll be able to see all the back, and depending on the lighting, I'm sure you can probably see on the inside. So I'm going to do a whole different kind of optical illusion, I think, or just like a really cool pattern. Now I'm trying to figure out what I want my hand placement to be and how many hands I want. Thinking just 2. Now this pattern, I like it, but I didn't love it. Whenever I looked through the eye holes, I put some like pretty glitter paint in it, so if you like were to shine light on it, it would have this full rainbow spectrum, but I just didn't end up liking it, so I do end up changing that later. And whenever you use plaster on your hands or your face, you have to put a barrier in between. You have to put Vaseline or some sort of Vaseline thing so that it doesn't stick to your skin and pull out your arm hair. I ended up making a different optical illusion, cutting out a piece of paper and just Mod Podging that sucker right over it. And I ended up writing some messages and using a red marker so that if you were to see this piece in person, you can look in my eye and see what I wrote. I took a string and I dipped it in black paint so that I could make some guidelines to where the squares would be on the face. And I really liked this idea and it did work out, but I think if I were to do this again, I would not do the same approach as I did. Not to say that it's bad. It's just I think I could have pulled it off a little bit better using that forced perspective, and it would have looked flatter if I tried it a different way. But you know, I think it ended up looking really, really cool anyways, so. How's it looking? How's it looking? I think it looks really good. But I also hate it. That's how I know it's not done, because it's like, I like the effect that it's doing. You can see inside of the eye holes, and I wrote little messages in there, especially about this breakup. And here it is with the paint to make that glitch effect. It looks so good. Last day of me working on this project. I am so ready for it to be over, only because I'm very nervous about the next part of the puzzle. It's the hands, everybody. The thing that I'm most worried about is like keeping the illusion and keeping the hands this length. It's so long, but I don't know. I'm just nervous that I'm not going to be able to pull it off. But if I do pull it off, beach, it is going to be the best thing in the world. This is 2 days before it's supposed to be due. And I ended up gluing those hands down and then having to rip them off a couple times and starting to ruin the canvas. And then I didn't want to put hands, but then I had to. Because I had to cover up the mistakes at that point. Guess who's making some hands even though I already said it was too late? Me, because I messed up so freaking bad. I have 2 days. I don't even know exactly how many hours I have. And I have plans, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some hands. I ended up cutting this because it was way too long, so at least I have a reference of how far I need it to go up my hand. I'm also not going to cast the whole finger. I'm just going to cast half the finger so it lays flatter. We got to adapt. So I'm going to make the hands. I'm going to paint them and I'm going to glue them and then paint them. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like, okay? Okay. I'm not in my usual spot. I know. But I had to take this and work and work on this while I'm babysitting. Are you fucking serious? I just want to show progress. I did the hands. It wasn't as bad as I thought. The technique is different, like if you look on the sides, but it's just forced perspective. Oh my god. See? Oh. And now I have to just add the glitch effect and I'll be done. And then I turned it into Mario. I think it's gonna take me just like a few hours. Well, I think like maybe 2 hours to get the line work done, but I'll show you whenever it's completely done. I am so over the moon with how this piece turned out. It is easily one of the coolest things that I have accomplished. To paint the hands, I ended up just stepping back and freehanding where the squares go, and I think that technique was a lot better than the string technique that I did with the face. And yeah, look how amazing it is. I didn't have to paint all the way on the hands either because I just didn't have to get the effect that I was looking for. And look, you could get up and close and personal with my face and try to look for those messages. And I hope that you really enjoyed this piece because I really do. And have a good day. Bye.